So obviously the big death was revealed, and it was revealed to be Carrie. But there's still questions though regarding her death, on whether she committed suicide or whether Monet was the one that killed her. And the thing is here that I'm not too sure, because Monet goes to pay her a visit, right, by the end of the episode, and she says to her, as long as Zeke has you, he'll never come back to me. And that's the end of that scene pretty much. And the next scene now, we see Zeke go to her apartment and he sees Carrie. He sees that Carrie's hung herself. So I'm thinking like, how would Monet by herself make it look like a suicide? Like how? Since when was Monet that strong? Like, she's not a man. And so that's the main reason why I'm thinking that Carrie must have killed herself then. Because for her to make it look like a suicide, for Monet to make it look like a suicide, like, she would have to have lifted Carrie up, get all the ropes and shit, like all of that on her own, and that's unlikely. So I suspect that it was a suicide. But to be honest, yeah, like, it wasn't this big death that Courtney Kemp said it would be. Like, the death was definitely underwhelming. It was definitely underwhelming. But I do want to give a shout out though to someone that commented on my last video on Powerbook 2, and he or she goes by the username FAF860, and this person said that there would be more than one death, and which there was, because Lil Guap died, the chef died, and obviously Carrie died. There were 3 deaths, so they were right about that. And although this person did say though that Lorenzo and Lauren would be the ones that died, they were wrong about that, because Lorenzo didn't die, Lauren didn't die, so they were wrong about that. But they were right about the fact that there would be multiple deaths. That's one thing that they were right about. So big up to FAF 860. But now, overall, I'll say the episode was brilliant. It was a fantastic episode overall. Right, brilliant episode. And let's talk about the hilarious Tejada family dinner. That was one of the most funniest scenes of Power history. Really, one of the most funniest scenes of Power history, including the original Power. Like, that chili that Diana made, that wasn't the only thing that was heated in that room. Like, it wasn't the only thing that was heated in that room, because damn, like, Diana came with the aggression and the receipts. So where do we start? Like, Kane from the get-go, Kane was just being so rude and shady about Diana's cooking. First of all, he's saying, oh, this smells bad, when he hasn't even tasted it. And then he's saying, oh, where's the meat? And Lorenzo was defending his daughter, defending Diana, saying, oh, actually it smells great. And that whole exchange between that whole exchange was just funny, that whole exchange. And everyone starts interrogating Diana now, asking her how she knows so much about Tariq's trial, especially Kane and Monet. That them two ask her questions about asking her, how do you know so much about Tariq's trial, Diana? And Kane is making jokes saying, oh, you're gonna have to find another skinny nigga to cupcake with. Like, all these rude comments from Kane, like, that lights a fire in Diana, and it kind of provokes her to expose Kane about how he stepped on the product. So that's exactly what she does. She exposes Kane. And now Monet and Renzo are pissed off at Kane pretty much. But Kane handled it like a G. Like, he handled it like a boss. He was like, yeah, nigga. Yeah, nigga, I did that shit. Like, he said it with chest. And he also went on to say that, oh, you're out here thinking that Drew should be your number 2 when I'm the one with the ideas. Like, I should be your number 2, not Drew. And now Renzo was like, you need to stop going against his family. And obviously that's when Kane exposed Drew about the whole not killing Everett. And now the focus is on Drew now. And Lorenzo questions Drew about that, about how he hasn't killed Everett. Zeke's had enough at this point. Like, Zeke has had enough at this point, and he wants to leave. But Monet stops him, and as that happens, like, Diana was on demon time. Straight headshots only. And this is where the Diana versus Monet battle commenced.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble!
because she exposed Monet about how Zeke is an exit plan.
Boom, perfect timing.
And that was the first blow. That was the first headshot. And Monet now, like, she claps back. She claps back with a good left hook, a good solid left hook, which caught Diana's attention.
Boom, perfect timing.
And as she exposed Diana about fucking Tariq, like, Diana was probably thinking, I see what you're doing, but I'm about to finish you now. And that's exactly what happened. Diana finishes her with a 1-2 hook combination. Exposing the fact that she's fucking Dante. And Lorenzo is just all confused at this point. He's like, who? And he channels his inner Conor McGregor. I mean, he's thinking, who the fuck is that guy? Who the fuck is that? Like, that's what Lorenzo is thinking. And now Diana says, oh, do you know what? Let me clarify. I mean Zeke's dad. And like, Zeke is like, oh, that wasn't my dad, right, auntie? That wasn't my dad, right, Auntie Monet? I believe anything you say, Auntie Monet. Like, acting like a little baby. Like, that's what Zeke's doing. And like, Diana comes with receipts now. She slams the birth certificate on the table, and yeah, it was just mad. Like, I don't know who took more blows, that table or Monet. I don't know. And now that whole birth certificate, now that proves that Zeke is actually 4 years older than he initially thought he was. And the first thing that Kane, said was, oh, so Zeke's your oldest and not me. Like, and I'm out here thinking, like, this nigga, like, why is that your first concern? Like, your first concern should be, like, Mom, how could you lie about this, Monet? Like, Zeke is our half brother and he's not our cousin, and you hid this from us our whole lives. Like, what's wrong with you? How could you do that? But no, his first concern was the fact that he's not the oldest. Like, that motherfucker's pride was hurt. Really. And don't get me started on Zeke. Like, his first concern was breaking basketball regulations in his draft and shit. Like, no, like, Zeke, like, your first concern should be, how could you lie about this? Like, how could you lie about being my auntie when you're my mum? Like, you're actually my mum and not my auntie, and you lied to me my whole life about this. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? And you told me my dad was dead. What the fuck, Monet? But no, like, all this guy cares about is basketball and his draft and shit. Like, Jesus Christ, Zeke. So Zeke then now leaves to tell Carrie what he knows, you know, because he's Mr. I gotta tell him what I know. So yeah, like, he leaves, and yeah, that's pretty much the end of that. So that whole thing was just hilarious. Like, yeah, that family dinner was crazy. That family dinner was just crazy and funny. But guys, put your thoughts in the comment section. What did you lot think about the dinner scene, the family dinner? Also, do you think that Monet killed Carrie, or do you think that Carrie committed suicide? And if you've got this far in the video, you've clearly enjoyed it. So hit that like button, share the video, all of that stuff. And that's it for this video. So until next time.